Welcome everyone. We are live back for day 2 with Alanna. I'm Ari and we have Alanna as our guest today. We will intro her in just a moment, but I wanted to say hi to everyone that's already joined us. So we have a few people that were with us yesterday as well. Ferry, Biola, Cody is moderating for us today, which is awesome. Thank you, Cody. Stony is back. Tiana. Paula is here. Paula thought she was going to miss it. You're here. I'm glad you can make it. Christelle. Paco's here. Dorothy. Prashant. Prashant is joining us from Jaipur, India. Where else are you joining us from? Let us know. I'm in San Francisco. And Alanna, where are you joining us from?
I'm tuning in from Brooklyn, New York today. Hey guys.
Awesome. Bruce is here again, and he's from New York too. So awesome to have everyone here. Yesterday, we started out with a lettering piece, and we're iterating more on it today. We're refining on the desktop. We started out in Fresco, going to Illustrator. So it's going to be really exciting. And for those of you that were still, for those of you that were on Adobe Live prior, and you are watching Sam Peterson, he's been doing these daily creative challenges in Photoshop. So you may have caught his crazy mystical animal that he created. If you didn't, you can watch the replay and don't miss out on these new challenges with Sam. You can catch him in the mornings Pacific time. So it was just before us, 9 a.m. Pacific, depending on where you are in the world. I know we have people all over the world. So definitely catch that. And another thing that's happening today is we're having an artist spotlight. So as you're in the chat here watching, you'll see above the chat on Behance, there's an artist spotlight tab. So that is a way for you to get more information, and you can suggest a friend or yourself or someone that you admire to be the next artist spotlight. So stay tuned for that. It's happening 90 minutes into the stream, so a little bit later. But we will be jumping into that. And a few more people. Stony is in Fort Worth. Gilvan is in Brazil. Envisaged Image is in Scotland. And all right, well, I think we can jump into introducing you, Alanna. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, you can watch the replay, but we know we have new people. So Alanna Flowers, let us know more about yourself.
Yeah, hi. It's super great to be here for day 2. Thank you everyone who's tuning in again. My name is Alanna Flowers. I'm a freelance lettering artist and designer based in Brooklyn, New York. I run my own business, AJF Design Studio, and it's just like a little quick look at some of my work on my Behance profile. You can also see more of my work on my website, ajfdesignstudio.com. But yeah, I just have some nice projects here that I've done. I've been freelancing for a very short time. I just started, it's almost 6 months ago, but I've already been able to do some pretty cool things with some pretty cool people, including Adobe. So this is a look at a project that I did for the drawing theme back in April, which was hand lettering. I really like being able to do motivational quotes and positive quotes. So that project really tapped into that. And then I think something like my 36 Days of Type project is sort of reminiscent of more of what we'll see today, because we're going to be in Illustrator and I'm going to be doing vectoring, which is exactly what I did for this project. So it was all in Adobe Illustrator, vectored the whole thing. I did a little YouTube video about it. I do some tutorials there as well, AJF Design Studio, if you want to check those out. But yeah, I'm super excited to see this piece transform before all of our eyes. We're going to get into some nice details today. So I'm just excited.
And thanks, Cody, for putting in Alanna's links so you can follow her. So let's go into our project from starting yesterday. We were in Fresco and you sketched out a few thumbnails. You were working on this quote, "Don't be afraid to dream big."
Yeah.
And here is the final sketch. So this is the big reveal for those of you that were watching yesterday.
Yeah, right. It's just like, oh my gosh, where did we leave off exactly? But yeah, this is where we left off, more or less, at least. I added a few more things in, but yeah, I just have my layers are going to rule today, basically, because they'll help guide me on where things are supposed to go. Because vectoring is one thing, but once we start putting the finishing touches and the nice details, it becomes a very complex layered sandwich of sorts. So it'll be very interesting. So my layers panel is handy to keep me organized. So don't have to worry about that.
It looks so good.
Thanks. It was interesting and fun, especially taking people's suggestions with illustrations and plopping those in more spots. So there's still room for changes. I never really married myself all the way to the till the very, very end, and I always reserve the right to change. So so I'm just gonna hop in here. So I'm just double checking that I'm on my guides layer, which I am. So I'm just gonna be pretty much where I had yesterday when I was doing my refined sketch. I was putting out my guides using the ruler tool in Fresco. But since today we're in Illustrator and we're like dealing with some cool angles, I'm just using the pen tool and extending these thinly stroked lines on my baselines.
Everyone in the chat is loving it. Christelle sent you some hearts. Jess says love. Dorothy says looks great. Ferry says that looks beautiful.
Gosh, thanks guys. I feel very much that this is a collaborative effort because you guys helped me along the way and we voted together. So
yeah,
this is a collaborative piece as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I like that you included some of the elements, the illustrations that the chat suggested. It looks really great. The clouds and the shooting star.
Yeah, it's always fun. And it's great because, I mean, I'm one of those people that like too much negative space can kind of make me a little nervous. I'm just like, I just need to fill it in with something. I don't know what, but I'm going to find something and fill it in.
You filled it in well.
Thanks. It's like striking a fine balance.
So you created a guides layer just to put in these lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to make sure that my guides layer is like super separated from I have a letters layer, which is where I'll be drawing. So basically I just mapped all of these out just like as a 1-point stroke. And then I'm just going to hit Command 5 and they'll become like little blue line guides. So they're no longer like objects. It just sort of reduces the clutter, I think, because I mean, it's kind of like the way I'm used to seeing guides, just like the default blue line, I guess.
Yeah.
And then
did you select all of them and hit Command 5?
Yep, I just selected all of them and hit Command 5, and that you can do that with any shape. It doesn't have to be a straight line. Any shape that you do, if you select it, it'll automatically outline it into a guide. So
awesome.
Yeah. Alrighty, I guess I'll just work top to bottom. I mean, there's no right or wrong here, but let's start.
Yeah.
Start where we start. I think we'll be okay. Mm-hmm.
For those of you that are just joining, Alanna here is working in Illustrator. She's using the pen tool to vectorize her lettering sketch. She started out in Fresco yesterday, and you can watch the replay of that. And here we are. She put down guides, and she is just gonna get busy with the pen tool. It's gonna be a process.
Yeah, right. It's like you have to become one with the pen tool, become friends. Good friends.
And for those of you that might be watching on YouTube, come over to behance.net/live, and then we can hear what you have to say in the chat. We can say hi to you. You can ask questions. So come join us.
Yeah, please hang out with us. The chat was so fun yesterday.
Yeah.
So cool. Everyone tuning in.
Hi, Sylvia. Sylvia says, it looks lovely. I like it very, very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Sylvia. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, Anthony. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Anthony.
So what are your tips for using the pen tool?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is like such a process, right? So, I mean, quite frankly, I could have even used the circle shape for this. But yeah, a lot of the things that I know, I've sort of gleaned it over the years from either books, and then Martina Ford's digital lettering masterclass really helped as well. But I guess generally a good rule of thumb is try to keep your handles as straight as possible. I'm working like on an angle, so there are going to be points where I can't adhere to that, which is fine. But I think people just sort of say, try to keep your horizontals as straight as possible, which I'll end up doing. You can just lock it in place by holding the shift key down. So it's like, you just hold that down, it'll sort of snap it to 90 and 180. So you don't have to worry about like trying to eyeball it perfectly. The shift key will help you in keeping things really straight. And then other than that, I think what I also look for is trying to make sure that my handles are sharing an even load, so to speak. So I think we'll be able to see that a little bit later on, but maybe even, let's see. So if I go back and like sort of look and refine, it's like, I don't want to have one handle way out here and like this one shorter. And I don't want to have this one like super tiny, you know? So it's like, this one's out a little bit, this one's out a little bit. So they kind of look a little bit even, like I sort of think of it as sharing an even load. So no handle is carrying on more than the other one.
Yeah, that's a good tip, because sometimes it can look fine. The curve looks fine, but then you see that one handle is working harder than the other. And then if you end up changing something else in the shape, then the whole thing is like off.
Exactly.
So it helps a lot to think of it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when someone explained it to me that way, I was just like, yeah, I totally like get that.
Yeah.
And
one of my teachers explained it like a face, like a frog face.
Oh.
If you like click on your O really quickly, on the outside, it'll be easier to see the outside line. Oh,
okay.
You can see that like the curve of the path is like the mouth of the frog, and then the two anchors are like the eyes. Like the handles are like the eyes.
And like, that's so funny.
The frog is frowning, and then if one of its eyes are like higher than the other, it looks off.
Look at that.
Do you see it?
The frog face. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So now I always see frog faces, and it makes me laugh.
That's such a cool tip. I love that. And I love little tips like that, because it's just like, however you can remember it, it's like, fine, that's like super cool. So it doesn't really matter how silly or whatever it is. Like if it helps you remember, then that's totally cool.
Yeah, whatever helps.
Yeah, exactly. I love little tips like that. And then, yeah, besides that, I'm a big advocate. I think we went over this yesterday a little bit, but I'm a big advocate for duplicating wherever I can. So if I see repeating shapes, why draw it twice? So I love duplicating and just doing like a nice little copy over. So that makes me happy because it just makes it go faster.
Yeah, you can use that stem of the N and T for the B and the E.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And the F. So many things.
Yeah, right. It's like you don't really have to do that much work. Sometimes, I guess, depending on what your phrase is, it might end up not working in your favor. Maybe you don't have that many repeating forms, but I usually find myself being able to duplicate a lot, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. We have a couple of new people that joined. Merv, hi Merv, and Gerald from Ghana.
Oh,
welcome.
Wow. Welcome. That is very cool.
Yeah, keep letting us know where you're from. And if you have any questions about lettering, vector art, or going freelance, setting up your own company or design studio. Alanna recently left a job at a larger company and now she's freelance and she's a full-time designer, illustrator, graphic designer, lettering artist. So she has a lot of experience.
Yeah, please pick my brain, ask away. I like sharing in any way I can, especially if it'll assist other fellow creatives in their journeys. That always makes me feel good.
Yeah. Hi, Camille. Good morning.
Howdy.
Anthony asked if this piece will be posted anywhere. I think so.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be posting this on my Instagram. So you can follow me at Alanna_flowers on Instagram, because my goal is to have this framed. I still need to buy a frame though, but this is formatted for a letter size sheet of paper. So I'm just starting small because this whole thing was inspired by the fact that I had very blank walls behind me. So we'll start with a letter size sheet of paper and then work our way.
Nice. Zayad says hi from Libya. Hi, welcome.
Oh, hello. Welcome. Everybody's tuning in.
So, interesting question from Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thought process behind using the pen tool as opposed to finding a font to match and then maybe creating outlines and customizing it?
Mm-hmm. I think, I guess it just depends on your approach and your own personal process. That might be something that you find helpful to do. I mean, I've seen tutorials where people will take the text of a font and expand it so it's outlined, and just sort of morph it in that way. And I think that's super cool. But I guess because I'm coming from the perspective of being a lettering artist, and it's like, I want to draw my own shapes. But I think any kind of knowledge of typography or lettering will aid you in either process. So if you end up doing it yourself, or you end up expanding some text and studying the forms and editing them that way, I think both approaches have merit.
Yeah, you can't be as in control if you use an existing font, but it could save a lot of time. And we have a new show on Adobe Live called the Adobe Fonts Show. That's me and Ben, who's on the Adobe Fonts team. We started last week, so hopefully there will be a new episode soon. But last episode was about lettering versus fonts and when to choose which one to use and what the differences are. It was primarily because a lot of times people use the word fonts when they mean lettering. And even though that I don't want to shame anyone for using the wrong term, sometimes it's just not helpful, and it's better to know exactly what term to use. So in that stream, you can watch the replay, and we work on a lettering project and decide, like, should we just use a font and create outlines for this? Should we vectorize it from scratch? So if you guys are interested, you can watch that replay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. Paula asked if a scan of a drawing would get you to this point as well if you don't use Fresco.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Definitely. I personally do not own a scanner, so that is not a part of my process. But I've, I guess back when I was in college and had access to different kind of equipment, that was definitely something that I've seen people do. So yeah, or even actually, people don't even use scanners anymore. What am I talking about? They use like scan it apps and stuff.
Yeah, like Adobe Capture. So Jess, you're right. You can use Adobe Capture to create a vector image too. And then sometimes people just do that. If it's a simple shape and you use Adobe Capture to create a vector image, you might not even have to do that much more work. But for lettering, I would say that if you get a vector image from Capture, you're probably going to need to refine it because there will be a lot of extraneous points, anchor points. And I've been in the position where there's like so many anchor points and I start deleting them. And then I realize it's just easier to do it from scratch from the image anyway.
Yeah, I guess the whole reason why we do things the way we do, plotting the points ourselves, is exactly what you said, Ari. It's just like reducing the amount of points that we're using, and it just simplifies the drawing and makes editing afterwards just way simpler.
Yeah. Oh, Bruce says he did watch that stream. Awesome.
Oh, so cool.
So happy to see that people watched it. We have Zika that just joined. Hi, Zika. Welcome.
Welcome.
And for everyone that just joined, we're here with Alanna Flowers. We are in Illustrator. She created this lettering piece in Adobe Fresco yesterday using the pencil brush. And here we are turning all of this into vectors so that she can create a print, and it can be infinitely scalable. What if someone sees it and they want it to be on a billboard because they love it? She can say, okay, here it is. It's all ready.
Oh my gosh. Let's put that into the universe. That's probably subconsciously one of my goals. Just like, let's be on a billboard, like our work and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. It's like, I don't know. It's like there's like literally an infinite amount of applications for work. It's like, it could really be anywhere.
Yeah. Anthony asked, do you like working with rasters or vectors? Well, I think we showed both in this stream. What do you prefer?
I mean, I guess I prefer raster because of ease and immediacy, I suppose. So it's like I could put something like on social media really quickly if it's raster, and I don't have to be super cognizant of like low quality problems. But if I'm basically considering any other application, I accept that there will need to be an extra step, which will be vectorizing. So
yeah, drawing raster is just more natural, just like we've always drawn on paper.
Yeah, right. It's just like, this is exactly the way that this goes.
Yeah. Gerald says, what's the best way to start freelancing? Can you answer in like one answer?
I mean, yeah, it's just
Big
like, who
question.
can say what's the best way? I think the best way is whatever way makes you feel comfortable, because the way that I chose was having, I took a course. So I went freelance and I made that decision, but I also knew that I needed guidance. So I was just like, okay, I need something. And it just so happened, I guess, that the stars aligned, and Martina Floor had just launched a freelance course. And I really admire her work. And she's also a lettering artist. So it wasn't just the freelancing part, it was also the, I guess, the similarity in field that attracted me to that course. So that helped me get going and get organized to start. But really, I think whatever makes you feel comfortable is, honestly, because some people are just super fine with just like, I quit my job today and I'm just going to do whatever. But yeah, everyone I wouldn't expect to do it exactly the same way. So
Yeah. And Cody, if you could link Martina Floor's book that we linked yesterday on.
Oh yeah, I love that book.
What's it called?
I think it's called The Big Leap.
Oh
I think
yeah,
the
The Big Leap.
The Big Leap, but the course is called Leap now.
Okay.
But it's all leaps, but yeah.
We have Robert, who just joined. Hi, Robert.
Welcome, Robert.
Robert's asking, what's your favorite tool in Illustrator?
Oh, goodness me. My favorite tool? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I guess the pen tool, maybe because it has most of the function and utility that I need for the work that I do personally. But I think I just like, aside from like a tool, maybe, I really like the artboard tool. Can anyone else identify with starting over with just like a million different artboards? I like just being able to copy over artboard. Once I found that one, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
So when you're working on something, do you copy it a bunch of times and then make changes to each one to see what works?
And then I kind of assess how many artboards I can use depending on how sad my computer starts sounding. Once I pass a certain number of artboards, I think it'll signal to me very clearly that it's having a hard time with whatever I'm trying to do. Hello there.
Viola says, you're so good with the pen tool. I'm sure it's not easy to do this with everyone watching. So,
oh yeah, right.
Good job.
No, it's cool. It's quite a process, and like I said, like I'm still actively learning. Like I just took that digital lettering course this year, so pretty much anytime a new resource comes out or something, I'm pretty fast to hop to check it out, because I'm just like, oh, maybe there's another way of thinking of this or learning this. So yeah, I think it's all good. How do I want to do this? Do I want to?
Pearl asks, has anyone played the Bezier game? Have you heard of this?
Oh my gosh, no. Please tell me more.
If it's the same thing that I'm thinking of, I think it's like on a browser and you have to place the Bezier curve points at the right part of the curve. And if you don't, it's wrong. Like, because the principle is you place the point at the extrema of the curve. And sometimes it's hard to figure out where that is. So maybe that's a good game to practice with.
Yeah, definitely. I like that, the thought of that. And I've also seen something similar like that for kerning. There's like an in-game kerning browser where you can just, it's like you nudge the letters over as much as you need, and it'll tell you how close you were to having perfect.
Yeah, I've played that game. Letters.
It's a heartbreaker. It's just like, oh my gosh, I was off by like this much. And I'm like, geez Louise. But
there's only some friends that I can tell that I play these games.
see, and it's okay because we're all here, and I'm assuming most of us are creative in some way. So it's like, you totally get it. And we can nerd out on stuff like that with each other, at least. Like.
Yeah. Pearl says that game helped her personally get over being intimidated by the pen tool. So that's cool.
That's awesome.
Ananya, hello. She asks, what path would you suggest to a high school student who wishes to pursue graphic design in the future, but at the same time isn't really sure of it? Also, this is amazing.
Oh, I said. Thank you so much. That is a really cool question. I would say look at your own local neighborhood. See, I mean, it might be someone that your parents know or an older sibling or someone, but you'd be surprised how many professions might be represented in your community. So you might have a local graphic designer or someone that doesn't live too far from you, that you just don't know who they are. But I would start sending out feelers on that. Or even if you're in high school, I guess, like, you could ask a teacher. A lot of times they'll have good resources, or they'll have a friend that they went to college with, and so on and so forth, who's a graphic designer. When I was like 16, I volunteered because I wasn't paid, but I volunteered for a fashion designer in my own local neighborhood. Like, she did costumes for like the American Ballet Theater and all this stuff, and that sort of like got me into like drawing more and like learning what fashion sketching is and stuff like that. And even though I obviously didn't end up going into fashion, I thought that was kind of cool, real world exposure, like shadowing her and just like helping her out with her business. So yeah, I would suggest trying to find someone to shadow and get a little peek into their career and their life, and see if it's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, and you said you got some of your first graphic design experience on your high school yearbook. Mm-hmm. So maybe also see if there's opportunities to practice graphic design, and see if you're not sure, to see if it's really something you like. Maybe there's a yearbook you can work on, or a family member has a project like a logo for their personal business or something like that you can help them with. And maybe that'll show you if it's something you really want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea too.
Boop, boop, boop. Cody posted the Bezier game on the chat, and people are trying it.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
We have to try it later.
Yeah, I have to try it and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's super cool. I think, I mean, a nice little, you had mentioned like the basic idea behind plotting points and doing this whole thing is finding the extrema points. And I think another tip that I've gotten just like randomly is like, okay, you have a circle, for example, and you can drop your guides, for example, I guess, and where it touches on the circle, those are your extreme points. And you can pretty much apply that to any shape as like a way of helping you if you're really having a hard time pinpointing those extreme points. I think that little tip has helped me sort of identify, especially when things get a little wonky.
Yeah, that's a great tip. A couple people said thank you for the frog face analogy. So glad that was helpful.
Yeah, that was so funny. I love that. Frog face. I was drifting away.
So in about an hour, we will be doing an artist spotlight. So stay tuned for that. And you can also go to the artist spotlight tab and you can suggest someone to be the next artist that we highlight.
Yeah.
Who will it be today? Get excited.
World of mystery. Yeah, I always like the artist spotlight whenever I watch these. It's nice. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna start filling these in because I'm getting a little too fixated.
Yay! It looks so good.
Things, yeah, I'm adjusting things, but it was still outlined as a stroke. So I'm just like, it'll be easier if it's just filled in for me to see where things are sitting. And if anything starts looking a little weird. And yes, I really do zoom in that far sometimes.
If any of you are watching us on YouTube, make sure to come over to Behance and say hi in the chat. That's the only way we can see you. So come over.
Yes.
And if you didn't catch us yesterday, you can watch the replay of how Alanna started this sketch in Fresco using the pencil brush and an Apple Pencil and iPad. And then you'll have more context into how she decided on this design and what kind of principles she uses when she's first sketching something out. And here we're deep into the vectors. Let us know if you have created any lettering work recently. What challenges did you have? And do you have any questions for Alanna on that? Are you singing the pen tool song?
You know, and I was thinking to myself, I'm just like, we can't hear whatever music is playing for the live, and I'm like so jealous because it's always so good. So I'm just like, I'm on the other side of it now, and I'm like left out because I don't know about you guys, but I like to jam out when I'm doing work. So get my little playlist going.
Dorothy asked, when you're on the PC, do you use a tablet or work primarily with a mouse?
Oh, I'm doing everything trackpad, so I'm just on my my laptop doing it that way. But I can imagine maybe my fingers would feel a little bit happier if I used a mouse.
Yeah, I feel like your hand is gonna hurt after this.
Yeah, it's like a lot of small repetitive movements. I'm like, okay, I'm really testing the limits of my hand strength here, but I think we should be okay. It's a worthy sacrifice for Adobe Live.
We'll have to do hand stretching afterwards.
I know, right? Does anyone like?
Cody is shocked that you're using the trackpad.
I love that. It's so funny. This is why I love like peeking to people's processes and stuff, because it's like literally what are people doing? How do you create your stuff? And you'd be surprised. That's so funny.
Pearl's mind is blown.
That's so funny to me. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Why am I pulling?
Kimmy says my hand is cramping just thinking about it.
It's so funny. Could you imagine? I don't know if I don't know. I don't know if it could like count the amount of like clicks or something in a certain document. That'd be insane or something. Like how many points you plotted or something. I don't know. But I'd love to get a statistic on that. It's just like this piece took 2 million clicks at the pen tool or something. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Sylvia asked, how did you learn and start with hand lettering? And we touched on this yesterday, but I think it deserves a refresher.
Oh yeah. I think I I was interested in hand lettering because I took a typography course in college, and my teacher had used some of Jessica Hish's work as an example from her drop cap study. And I think that was probably the first time that it entered into my mind that lettering and lettering artists were a thing. So I think it just started from there. And then, because I always liked typography, so that was cool and I could draw from that. But knowing that, you know, it's just like a whole art of illustrating letters is pretty interesting. So yeah, I think it started there and then just hit the ground running from there.
Cool. I wish I had discovered lettering and typography in general in college or earlier, but I think I was a little late because I didn't study design. And I think for a lot of people, you just don't know that even being a graphic designer is a possible career option. So
No,
hopefully
true.
it's becoming more popular or acceptable as a career path for people in high school. But when I was, it was not known to me.
No, yeah, that's totally interesting. And it's like, you know, I've seen, you know, you have those programs like Type at Cooper and, you know, all these things, you know, people who are really like masters, you know, who are teaching courses and stuff. So I think there's definitely, I don't know, at least from my point of view, I guess, greater visibility and access for learning something as specific and I guess considered niche as hand lettering. So it's pretty cool.
We have Unmesh who says, I'm new on Behance. Is anyone else new to Behance or Adobe Live? Is this your first live stream that you're watching? Let us know so we can welcome you.
That'd be super cool. Oh, hello. Do I have an extra point in there? Nope, I never connected. Hello.
Bhavna is asking, can you recommend a typography course for beginners with no graphic design background?
Oh, that's very interesting. A typography course.
I feel like you need to have a little bit of graphic design course first, or maybe like typography can be part of an introductory graphic design course. That might be a better way to get introduced to it.
Yeah,
what
like
do you
maybe
think?
like something that's if it's something that's called like foundations of design or something that's sort of just like a general overview, because typography should be covered in that, even if it's just lightly, to give you a nice base, because it would be a little difficult, like Ari mentioned, to just sort of jump in without any knowledge whatsoever, graphic design wise. So yeah, I would, even if you could find a course, it would still be helpful to you to have a little bit of a precursor of knowledge for design. But yeah, other than that, I guess, I mean, I feel like there's a Skillshare course for everything, and
yeah, Cody said check out Skillshare. There's a lot of Skillshare courses on typography and graphic design, whether it's like introductory or a little more advanced, or Coursera has graphic design courses, and really accessible and easy to follow. Kimmy said, you can find the number of points in your Illustrator document. If you go to Windows, Document, and Objects, and you make sure your whole image is selected. So you don't know how many clicks, but you could see how many points.
Hey, that's super cool. I think that's cool that they make it possible to acquire that information if you are curious about it because I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the tip. I like that.
Jeffrey said, yesterday was the first time I watched Adobe Live, and so did Dorothy.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
I'm really impressed because Dorothy and Jeffrey have been vocal in the chat. And I feel like the first time I watched a live stream, I didn't say anything because I was like shy. So good on you for being active and asking questions. And that's awesome.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy to have been the first live stream that you watch, but yeah, it's great because I love that there are replays. So it's just there ready whenever. Okay, I think we're okay. Just reminding myself to save periodically because this is still real life. All right, that's good.
Okay, now for the script. This is the real test.
Let's see. I'm sorry if it's terribly apparent that I have like songs stuck in my head right now. I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's very calming.
Just playing.
I feel like I'm meditating watching you do this.
Yeah, it's funny. It's fun. We'll just be. I just gotta do some cleanup and adjustment here. So it's cool for the first pass or 2 or 3 to be a little rough, and then just start pulling at your handles and your points and finding that balance between the vector and the sketch. So, oh, hello. Okay.
Zika, I'm glad that you joined us on Behance from YouTube.
Oh, welcome.
We got someone to come over.
I mean, we're hyping up the chat, so it's just like I really wouldn't want to miss out on the chat either. So I think the switch is definitely warranted.
Do you always use this stroke size when you're using the pen tool?
I don't know that I think about it so much. I think it defaults at 1 point, and I find that that's kind of comfortable for me. But yeah, you can feel free to adjust it, make it thinner, I think. I mean, I wear glasses, so I'm just like, the better I can see something is always good for me. But yeah, no, I think it's okay because then I just end up filling it in anyway. So the stroke just gives me a nice little base, and then I can fill in. So it's, and then I see something else I can adjust here. So I guess I'm just doing that handle balance game again, where I'm like seeing that some things are like crazy stretched out, where I could probably even the load a little bit better. Yeah, look at this guy, super long. Can adjust a little bit.
Stony asked if you always draw out your thumbnails on Fresco.
Yes, I would say so. I've become very digital, I think, in my approach. Sometimes if I'm like, I don't know, I might be out and about and I might not have my iPad with me. I always do like the feel still of pen and paper or pencil and paper, but I'm afraid 90% of my life now in my process is digital. Go back. For this process too, I guess I would say the direct selection tool will definitely also be your friend, because that's what allows you to isolate specific points on your drawing as opposed to manipulating the entire thing. So the white arrow tool, I just hit the A on my keyboard to switch to it.
Yeah, once you learn all the keyboard shortcuts, it makes things a lot faster.
Yeah, it's like no going back once you have the keyboard shortcuts in your mind.
I've always had trouble with like, why is the direct selection tool A? It just doesn't help me remember it. It took me a while. I'm like, why is it V and A? I don't understand. Exactly. Does anyone know?
Yeah, right. What are the origins of keyboard shortcuts? Because they're not even uniform across like all the programs necessarily. So sometimes I'll end up using like Illustrator shortcuts in InDesign that don't cross over. So
yeah, and the trouble with that is if we decided to unify them and have different ones, people would go crazy because they're so used to what they've been using. So there's kind of no way to go back.
Yeah, no, it's the history is too long. So it is the way it is, I think now. I think we can all accept that.
Stony doesn't have an iPad. You can definitely use, draw something in Illustrator. You can draw something on a piece of paper and use Adobe Capture. You can draw something on a piece of paper and take a picture of it. There's so many ways you could achieve this without an iPad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was not using an iPad for the first like 3 or so years of me doing hand lettering, and I think that was probably for the best, because I think it forced me to learn, I don't know, just like not the whole instant gratification way that I feel digital gives me now, and the instant undoing. So I think it helped me at least a little bit in that sense, with training me a little bit to be a little bit more patient with the process, doing it the quote unquote traditional way, I guess.
Do you ever find yourself trying to like zoom in on a piece of paper with your fingers because you're used to the iPad?
I can't count how many times I've done it. Like literally, it's so embarrassing. I'm just like, I just did that. But then I realized that a lot of people do. So I definitely don't feel alone.
Yeah, I did it a few days ago for the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I've seen like memes or people joking about it. Mm-hmm. And I've seen like videos of children who are used to being on an iPad all the time. Okay. And then they're never on paper, and then they try to zoom or like scroll through things, and their parents are laughing. And I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do that. And then I did it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why isn't this zooming?
Yeah, it's just like you never know until it happens to you. But
yeah. Or double tapping to undo. Yeah. Annika is saying zoom and undo all the time. Cody says, I try to undo on a piece of paper.
That's so funny. I'm so happy we're in good company, because yeah, you go digital. And it feels weird, I guess, if you spend too much time on digital, if you haven't touched a pen and a paper for a while. It's just like, how do I do this? Like, this feels weird. It starts feeling so foreign all of a sudden. But yeah, it's important to unplug, I think, from time to time. Where do we want to go? Ooh. Yes, I'll take this time to shorten that.
What's everyone working on in the chat? Let us know. Are you working on something while watching us? Multitasking?
Oh, yeah.
Is it really late at night and you're watching us as your lullaby? Is it morning, like me here in San Francisco? Just starting out my day, getting inspired. Pearl is editing photos from a dance performance.
Oh.
That's cool. Pearl, did you take the photos? Are you a photographer, or what's your main profession?
Yeah. And what kind of dancing was it? Because I used to dance when I was younger.
What kind of dance did you used to do?
I did ballet, tap, and jazz.
Cool.
Before I was a yearbook nerd, I was a theater nerd. So it was my, I tell people it was my compromise between me and my mother, because she wouldn't let me do gymnastics. So I'm just like, okay, fine. If I dance, then I can still kind of get a similar experience, but in a different medium. So she seemed to be okay with that.
Cody says, oh, I'm going to get my gouache paints out after the stream. Trying to get over my fear of traditional art.
Oh.
Get over your fear and dream big.
Heck yeah. Oh, I'm super here for conquering fears and doing it, whatever it is that you want to do. Also,
you're such a good illustrator, Cody. I'm surprised you're afraid of something to do with art.
I feel like also, is it just me, or is gouache like super trendy right now? Because I feel like everyone's doing gouache everything and I feel super left out.
I have a lot of gouache paints. I bought them over the course of the last couple of years because I noticed everyone using them. And one of my artist friends told me that they love gouache because it's matte and it's really good for like painting something and then being able to edit it in Photoshop. Like if you're doing a print or something and you paint it in gouache and you want to make some edits, because it's matte, like it scans and photographs really well. And I was like, oh, I had never thought of that. But I made a bunch of greeting cards using gouache paint on paper and then scanned them in and did that. And it was really cool.
That sounds awesome.
So Pearl says, I did take the photos. I actually used to dance at the studio that performed, and I choreographed one of the pieces. They do ballet and contemporary modern.
Super
awesome.
Cool.
And Pearl's full-time job is a graphic designer at a church, but I also do graphic design and photography for whoever will have me, LOL. That's the hustle.
Hey, I think that's awesome. It's just like if you're okay with it, then yeah, show up with your camera and you're taking some awesome photos. I mean, I feel like everyone is doing everyone loves a good wedding photographer. I mean, I feel like the pressure for photographers at weddings is like super, super high. I mean, this is, moment you want to have solidified forever. I'm like, wedding photography, it's like a whole nother game.
Definitely. Gerald is heading home from work. Gerald, are you in transit right now? Are you watching us on your phone, or how's that working out? Hopefully you're not driving and watching us.
Oh my gosh, please no. Please don't.
Cherith is working on my title designs for my art haul vlog. Oh. Ooh, does that mean you're buying art and posting videos of an art haul? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, like I guess I also have to get an understanding of what an art haul vlog is.
Is it like a clothing haul when you buy stuff and you talk about it?
Yeah, it's like you went on a spree at Michael's and then
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know, who knows, maybe something like that.
I want to watch that. I am going to try to subscribe to your thing. I love going to Michael's. So if it's that, Cherith, I want to see it. Let's see. What else are people doing? Raju says, your patience is amazingly great. A big bow to you.
Oh, thank you so
Wow.
much. I mean, that is just like a lovely thing to say.
Bruce says, I'm writing traditional lettering to a friend that's in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Does that mean it's Japanese lettering?
Yeah, I'm thinking was like, is it, yeah, in Japanese.
Like brush lettering?
Because that would be, I can imagine that being super beautiful. Right.
Laura's here. Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Oh, yay. Thanks for coming back and hanging out. Super excited to have you here.
Paula says it's lunchtime, but I just had breakfast. What did you have for breakfast, Paula? Was it a brunch because it's breakfast at lunchtime?
I am a firm believer in eating breakfast at whatever hour pleases you. I think breakfast is my favorite meal of the day.
I get really excited when I'm at a restaurant that has all day breakfast.
Oh my gosh. Those are just the places that are just blessed by the heavens. I'm like, you get it. You get it.
It's pretty common in the US, but breakfast is really, I think it's a bigger thing in the US than a lot of other places in the world. Because, well, my experience is living in Greece, breakfast is like kind of utilitarian. It's like, I need to eat something to get on with my day, but then the real meals are lunch and dinner. Mm-hmm. And they'll just have like a piece of toast with butter and honey, which is delicious. But they're like, what? You eat so much stuff for breakfast? You go out for breakfast? Mm-hmm. And it's becoming more popular there because brunch is so popular here and it's become a worldwide phenomenon. But traditionally, it was like when I was younger and I would visit Greece, I'd be like, where's the eggs Benedict and like the scrambled eggs and bacon? And they're like, why do you want to eat so much stuff in the morning? I'm like, I need to eat in the morning.
All right, geez.
Cody's a big brunch fan. Raju says it's 11 p.m. in India, doing office work and learning something. Oh, great. Multitasking. Anthony says, I'm currently working on 2 fan art projects plus some client work. Oh. Please tell us, what fan art projects are those? What are you a fan of?
I am also very curious.
Oh, Paula was saying, I don't know why the direct selection tool shortcut is A, but she saw a show with Paul Trani that talks about how to customize your keyboard shortcuts. Oh my. So that's also an option.
That's very cool.
Kimmy says, I'm illustrating in Illustrator. Work and lurk game going strong. I love that.
I might have to steal that. That's awesome. Work and lurk. I like that a lot.
Paula, the spotlight will be here. So in the next half hour or 25 minutes, we will be doing the artist spotlight. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can stay right here. Prashant says, how can you generate this level of patience? Do you do yoga?
That's a funny question. I used to do yoga in college because my roommate at the time had gotten me really into it. But these days I feel like I need my exercise to be more energetic or something. I think I think yoga, it's hard for me now somehow. It's harder for me to sort of shut off and unwind in that way. So I don't actively do yoga now, but I think it's just an overtime thing. And yeah, just perhaps practice breeds patience as well.
Everyone in the chat is also patient for watching.
Yeah, geez, right, guys? You guys are tuning in. That's awesome.
But yeah, doing it requires more patience. Cody asks what projects I'm working on lately. Well, there's a couple things. One of them is my cousin is launching this custom t-shirt business. Well, like an Etsy store, which has shirts with like different quotes on them and sayings. And she asked me if I could make some original lettering artwork, because there's so many stores out there that are selling custom apparel, or even like water bottles with things on them, or kids onesies and stuff. And there's a lot of designs out there that are just repeated. But if you have some original designs, it makes your work show up more for people, and it's just more interesting. So she had some ideas and she asked me to help out and create some lettering work. So I've been starting to work on that, and it's exciting. I've never created something for apparel before, so we'll see how it turns out.
Oh, that's cool. When you're done, you'll have to wear something that you made.
I know. I'm like, I want it now. She has a Cricut, so she creates stuff with the Cricut.
Oh, the laser cutting machine thing.
Yeah, but also, yeah, you laser cut things, and then you use a heat tool to like put it on the shirts.
Okay, to like transfer the image. Okay, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Those are super popular too. It's like the silhouette machines, like I feel like I'm missing out on so much. It's so fun watching. I love those videos where you just watch the the drawings being laser cut. It's like so relaxing to watch. And it's like, wow, it's just like perfect and uniform every single time.
I know.
Cool.
And I also just painted something in real life on a wood plaque. It was a gift for my friend. And I started in Fresco. I kind of like drew out something and used a picture of her that I just inserted into the Fresco image. And then I printed it out and used it as a reference for my painting. I used acrylic paint on wood, but that's when I tried to zoom in on my painting, because I was zooming in on on my iPad, like right next to it. And then I painted something, and then I was like trying to zoom in on what I painted on the wood. No. So that was not good.
Wow, wood. I think that's a lot. I mean, I'm like super digital and everything, and even on my desktop. So it's like doing something like where I letter on like an actual object, like people who do like live lettering events and stuff like that. I'm just like, that's so cool. Or they like customize handbags and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Doing stuff like that. But I'm just like, now that's next level patience, I think. Just sort of like taking your time to just very carefully, because it's an object, so you only get one shot.
Yeah. Paloma says, my cousin is doing that too. Oh, how funny.
Oh my gosh. Great mind.
Kimmy says, I did apparel design for 4 years. Screen printing. So much fun.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Uh-oh. What did I do? Okay. There.
And Kimmy says, I just bought a projector for mural lettering.
Awesome.
Have you done a mural before, Kimmy, or would this be your first time? I've never done one. I need someone to give me a wall so I can try it out.
That's so cool. I think that there's the intimidation of the blank canvas, but I think it's like the scale of the wall also is like, oh my gosh, it's like, where do I even begin with this? So I'm sure that projector will come in handy.
Yeah. Ferry says, tomorrow's a school holiday for me. Yay.
Oh, yay for school holidays. I like that.
I miss that feeling.
Yeah, right.
With work, you can make your own holidays. And with freelance, it's even harder, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just like, well, what are you going to be doing at this and this time? It's like, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I could wake up and have something very different than what I had planned to do. So, but also I think that's the appeal of it a little bit.
Yeah. Do you block certain times and say, I'm not taking new projects during this time? How do you manage that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think right now, it would depend, I guess, on a lot of things. I would have to communicate that with whoever's reaching out, but I have had to reply to some people before and say, I'm super grateful for your inquiry, but sometimes the turnaround time is just a little too tight for what I can manage. So yeah, sometimes I think I'm learning more and more exactly how much I can juggle. So yeah, taking on every project is a new learning experience for me. So I'm getting better, I think, at it, assessing when to just say, okay, we're not taking any more projects right now.
Yeah, that must be sometimes hard to find the balance, but it's good to have boundaries.
Yeah.
If someone's like, I want you to do this for me by next week, and you know that that's just not happening.
Yeah, it's like balancing the yeses with the nos, because I think a lot of I think some general advice that I might give someone would be like, say yes more, I guess. But I think that's only because I'm coming from the position of someone who was like saying no a lot to like personal commissions. I'm just like, I don't know. I was just so nervous and I just didn't feel like I could manage and handle it. This was like years ago though, but now my mindset has shifted quite a bit since then. So yeah, definitely don't go out of your way to make yourself like feel like super stressed or anything, but a little bit of discomfort is good because, growth and stuff.
Elsa says, I love this lettering. It's amazing, Alanna. Definitely interested in picking up this skill.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is, I think I mentioned it yesterday. I'm just like, vectoring is, some people may view it as a necessary evil because it is very time consuming, or it can be time consuming, and it requires, just a little bit of focus and patience, but it is definitely a helpful skill that I've acquired. Just because, yeah, infinite scalability, you can't beat that really. So
Yeah. Randall says, I'm loving how this is turning out. Hi, Randall.
Hello, Randall. Thank you so much. I'm super happy that you're here. You took the time to hang out with us today. Alrighty, let's see.
Oh, yay.
Okie dokie.
Awesome.
We've done an initial pass.
Yeah.
This is not terrible. I think I just, after I have everything down, I think I just like to check my, check all of these little hollow bits because sometimes it's hard to tell. But these seem to match up pretty okay, I think. Just making sure things feel balanced and are hitting all the right
Good
points.
job for doing all this in such a short time, in an hour, basically.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's great. I'm really hoping that I get to finish this with you guys here, because I mean, I need to show people this layering sandwich that I've got going on. Hopefully it'll work the way it is in my head. But
well, we have 15 minutes until we do our artist spotlight. And then after that, we'll have about 20 minutes left. So the time is ticking, but I feel like you've done most of the big work here. So if we get a couple illustrations in there and then we talk about color, what else do you think we need to show or want to show?
I mean, I've got my illustrations blocked out here. Just like staring and fixating a little bit. Don't mind me, just being weird.
Kimmy said something great. She said, I will recommend clients to other artists. If I'm unable to manage their project, it's good to have a network of other designers you trust and can recommend clients to if needed. That's so true.
That's super awesome, yeah. Everyone can still benefit. That's super true and very good for you. I'm sure anyone who gets recommended is appreciative.
Yeah, and that way you're helping the client. So it's not like you're just saying no and they never hear from you again.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they'll trust you more for next time, even though you can't do it this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm just like always making it a point to keep on top of replying, even if maybe I inquired something and then the project didn't end up going forward for whatever reason. Always just sending that thanks for your consideration. I think goes a long way. It's easy to forget sometimes that there are people out there behind the email addresses.
Sylvia says, it's definitely the best artwork, hand lettering in Illustrator and Fresco that I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, thank you so much.
High praises.
That is, wow, that's a beautiful thing to say. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Robert asked if you've ever used the curvature tool in your lettering.
The curvature tool. I think
they mean the other pen one that has the curves. It draws the curves for you. It's the one that has the little
yes, where it like does a little preview for you. Mm-hmm. I totally forgot that was even a thing. So no, at this present moment, no. But that is a really sweet tip. If it's just going to sort of predict for me where things can kind of land, or I guess it helps you sort of visualize that, where the direction, depending on the direction of your line.
I've tried to use it. I didn't find it that easy to use, but it's just because probably I needed to practice with it more.
I think my My old design teacher, he was one of them. He was very adamant on, you know, like he would make us do the Bezier game, but on paper. So he's just like, draw where the plots should go and then draw the handle lengths.
Wow.
Like he was like so like old school, I guess you could say, and stuff like that, because he really was like, you guys are so spoiled.
That's so funny.
With your technology. He was an old school typesetter, so he's just like, you guys don't even know how good you have it. I used to do all of this by hand, line by line. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm just like, oh goodness. I know I'm spoiled. I know.
Caitlin says, I'm late and this looks great. Welcome, Caitlin.
Welcome, Caitlin. Thank you so much. That rhymed. I love rhymes. Makes me feel good.
So we have 10 minutes till our artist spotlight, and you can recommend people or yourself to be the next artist spotlight. You can go to the tab right above the chat, click on there and see all the info.
That's awesome. I think that's another thing I've, being a newly freelance, learning how to be my own hype woman. And it's like, it's okay to nominate yourself for things. It's okay to like shout yourself out and like tell people stuff about yourself. It's not, you know, it's just like people can tell pretty quickly if you're coming from a place of, you know, like a good place, or you're just sort of bragging just to brag or what have you. But 9 times out of 10.
Excuse me.
No, it's fine. Stop it. No, it's totally fine. But yeah, 9 times out of 10 people are like super supportive and are just like, yeah, no, it's cool. Like, take your time. It's okay to brag on yourself a little bit from time to time.
Yeah. Hi, Eber. Eber says, beautiful hand lettering skills. I like the use of guides. Yes, the guides are very important.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm like, the guides are king, I feel. I think my first YouTube video was about setting up guides for hand lettering. I have 2 videos on that. I was just like, I don't think we talk about just how much my life would fall apart as a lettering artist without my guides. So I'm just like, without that, I have no structure and I don't know where I'm supposed to be landing. So yes, guides are good.
Yeah, I sometimes try to do something without guides, and then I put the guides on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so uneven.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, I totally thought my eye was better than this, but it's okay. Let me just admit that I missed the mark, and I'm gonna put my guides on, because I have learned the hard way many a time. It's like, wow, that does not look at all the way I thought it would in my head. That looks weird.
Thank you for blessing me, Jeffrey.
Shout out to Jeffrey. We're all human and we're all suffering. Well, some of us are suffering from allergies. I know I.
Yeah, it's like once a day I sneeze from allergies. It's very mild.
No, that's good. But you always
so
know,
funny.
like, I know it's the pollen out there that's just out to get me. Can I do it? Why not? Oh, I see. From time to time, I'm just like breaking my handles, and what is it? So I have the pen tool selected and I hit the Alt key, and then I just sort of start moving things around individually, because sometimes I'm only trying to move one handle at a time. So I think that's helpful also, as like a little thing that just popped into my head to share, because once I learned that, it's just like, oh, okay, like things can be very independent and I can move one side independently of the other. It really helped me out. So I'm like, woo-hoo. If I need to, I can do that.
Yeah, handles need to break up sometimes. Sometimes it's not working out.
Sometimes it's just not working out.
Maybe that's our next lettering piece.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes handles need to break up.
Oh my gosh, that'd be super funny. I would like buy that shirt if that was a shirt. Like I love like graphic design meme pages. Like those are so funny.
Yeah.
Like I love that.
In the chat, what's your favorite graphic design meme social media account? I like one called Screen Saviors.
Oh, that's fun.
That's really great. Funny.
Okay, I think I'm done being finicky for the purposes here. So because I'm a little paranoid, I always like to have my lettering off the artboard in just like a preserved state before I start making further edits, because from here I'm just going to start punching out all of the spaces. So I'm going to go to my Pathfinder tool and I'm going to start minus fronting. So all of these little, I essentially made like little white stickers where all of them should go.
Oh, okay.
And then minus front.
Making it into a compound path.
Exactly. So for the next portion, I won't have so many wacky things going on, because you can run into problems, I think. And also having this against a dark background on this other side helps me remember where those little spots are that I need to punch out. So that's good. G here. Okay. Did I do the D? Yes, I did. And this is already separate.
People in the chat are sharing their allergy woes.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
a lot of people.
We can all relate. I mean, it's rough. It's very rough out here. It is very rough. Okay, so, oh wait, did this one? Oh, one. Still one there. I'm like, oh, I got them all. Also, a quick check, I guess, would be to select all. And I think that also reveals that we are okay. So yeah. Next.
All right, what's next?
Next, we will be using the Pathfinder tool again, just to join all of these little separate legs and pieces into just shapes. So I had everything like separated for the sake of ease of editing, but now we are moving forward so I can join these.
I find that so satisfying to join everything.
Yeah. But then it's like, I don't know, a little bit of magic is lost in the joining of the paths, because it's like, oh, all the little spots that we had to get there are gone forever now.
No, you copied them. They're still there.
Yeah, it's true. Because like I said, I'm like paranoid. So I'm just like, I am going to put this over here because I do not want to run into problems. Oh, and somehow I like missed this little crossbar for the end. So let's throw that in.
So we have about a minute until our artist spotlight.
Oh my God.
And we'll be switching over to showing that. So once you unify all of these shapes, what's next?
So now, well, I have to figure out why this isn't unifying, but then we are going to get into the fun stuff, like the details. It's like colors and all of the effects that I like to do. And it was cool because a lot of these things, a lot of them I a lot of techniques for adding detail I was already using. But once I took Martina's class, I learned a few extras. So I'm going to be showing you guys that.
Cool.
Make sure. Oh, hello. These aren't even. Okay.
Unify all the shapes.
Yeah, I think we're all together now. Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Coming together, guys. And I have you all to thank for joining me on this roller coaster ride. Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna go over to my screen to share the artists that we have for today. All right, so we have our artist for today. It's Daniela Santibanez.
Yay.
Yay. I don't know if Daniela has joined us in the chat. If you're here, hello.
That'd be so
This
cool.
is awesome that we're looking at your work. And let's see what her Behance profile says. First of all, I love the hero image at the top, showing so much of her, looks like chalk lettering, which is cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah. She is a designer, letterer, and art director in Ecuador. And I clicked on her URL just to see her website, which is looks fully professional design company. And I love to see that she's created this website, because sometimes people won't know to find you on Behance, or they just want to go to your website, and it's something you can put on your business card and stuff. So
definitely.
Pretty awesome. Should we jump into some of her work?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's so much stuff. Yeah. Oh, this looks cool. What's this? Jurassic numbers inspired by my love for color and dinosaurs.
Oh, interesting.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's so cool.
I love the colors and just the creativity. I would never think to do this.
Yeah, this was such like a delightful surprise. And it's like, what could this possibly be? That's so cool.
You have to get to know the different types of dinosaurs pretty well to know what shape to use and stuff.
That's true. It's just like having dinosaur knowledge all of a sudden applies to design. That's great.
I love the pterodactyl serif.
Yes. How clever is that? That's like so thoughtful and like
some people see a dinosaur, I see a serif shape.
That's a designer check for yourself.
Here's a personal project. Cool. For Christmas.
I love a good personal project.
I like how there's drafts from the notebook and some pretty, whoa.
That is next level. She even says it. This one's really crazy. That's cool.
What is going on? This is so cool. Lots of guides. Speaking of using guides.
Mm-hmm. She is not afraid of guides at all.
Wow.
Oh, it's like a postcard, I guess, or something. It's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
That's so great.
And then you can download them.
Oh, that's so cool.
Greeting cards, photo shoot. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the grape balloon.
Oh, so cute.
She's really good at using objects with her work. Like,
oh my gosh, I love this.
Oh, that's so cool. The Oreo cookie cream with the
it's like so the little prince on the moon.
Oh, that's so clever. I love that.
Frida.
Frida. Unmistakable Frida. Oh, I love that.
Iconic.
Oh, amazing.
Whoops. Wow.
Wow, is this a mural?
She created a mural for an office space.
That's one. That's a pretty awesome office. I would have loved to go into work and see this.
Yeah. Oh, look at all the sketches, all the thumbnails.
The thumbnails. Wow.
I really like how she incorporated planes, and she did it in so many different ways in her sketches.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of different ways of communicating similar ideas. So cool seeing that.
I love how also the process is documented so well that we can see from the sketches all the way to a video of her doing the actual thing and the whole process of projecting it, painting it.
Wow.
And then she had to deal with this corner thing.
Oh, see, accounting for that. Like, how do you do that? That's like so, I mean, that kudos to her, because that would definitely be a tricky one for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow. It really transformed that space.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that before picture was just so blank and sad, but she livened up the whole space.
Cactus alphabet. Oh. Very cute. Do you want to see it?
I kind of do. I kind of love
There's so much. I'm like, we have to get through this, but we want to see everything.
Yeah.
Oh. Made with Photoshop Mix. Oh, these are some of the original illustrations, and then she created a whole alphabet.
Wow.
I like how she's very true to the anatomy of the cactuses. She's not like making them up. They're real.
Yeah, right. She's not like super fixated on like it being ultra cosmetic cacti only.
Yeah.
It's like the weirder and wonkier, the better.
Awesome.
So cool.
Well, I'm going to appreciate it and also follow Daniela. And I hope all of you will follow her as well to see what else she creates. Oh, gosh. What else? The Greatest Me. What's this? It looks like she has a lot of balance between projects for larger companies and then her own personal projects. So she seems to be very versatile with what she creates.
Definitely.
Cool. Showing her process for the logo.
Yeah.
Wow.
I always applaud people who do logo designs. It's like, it's so much more than, you know, just drawing something out. It's just like the whole research and the concept behind it.
I know. It's a lot of work. And all of the logos she created as a process looked great to me.
Yeah, right. And it's like, wow, any of these I feel could have worked.
Yeah.
But
the Square project is a collaborative project of short animations that start and end with a square in the center of the screen. Wow. So many sketches.
Gosh, I love these. And then you take it in and clean it all up.
Yeah. You guys can play the video on your end. I want to get through more stuff. I want to see everything she does.
Yeah, Ryan was like, geez, she's so versatile.
And she does a lot of giveaways. So this is another one that people could take. She did it for some of her followers. Ask them to write their mother's name and tell me something about them. And then she did customized ones. How cool.
That is so nice and like a super thoughtful thing.
Yeah.
I think anyone, mother or not, would just appreciate something like that. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. These are so cool.
Wow. And she did them all by hand.
Gosh. These are so pretty. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Name the crossbar that way. That's awesome. Oh gosh.
There's so many. Oh. And it has the moms receiving their cards.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's adorable. I love that. I'm sure people were so excited to give those to their moms.
Such a cool way to get people involved. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, another office mural.
Ah,
Wow.
great.
People are seeing your work and contacting you. That's awesome.
These look so nice.
I know. How awesome are all of her sketches? Oh, and look at the mock-up of figuring out what works.
Mm-hmm. How best to use the space. And
yeah.
That's super cool.
How did it turn out?
Oh my gosh.
So cool.
That's really nice.
Okay, last but not least, the first project she has.
We worked it back.
A social initiative created by a muralist in 2018, and it's a collaborative festival where artists paint murals in a park. Awesome.
Oh, how pretty.
I love the colors you used, and
awesome.
like, because it's a limited color palette, I always like how that looks.
Mm-hmm. Just sometimes being a little bit more simplified with the colors is
yeah. All right. I want to see this real quick, how it ended
I know,
up.
I want to see, because I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, that looks so cool.
Well done, Daniela. All of your work is so great. And thanks for whoever submitted you, or if you submitted yourself, like that's something that everyone should do who's in the chat. Submit yourself. It might motivate you to work a little bit more on your Behance profile. I know that it would for me. So thanks, Daniela. And we can jump back into Illustrator with Alanna so we can put some finishing touches on the work that we were doing.
Oh, alrighty. Okie dokie. So this is where we left off. So yes, I'm relatively confident that all of these things are joined in the way that they need to be joined. So now I am jumping back into my layers panel. I've got some things turned off that I will now turn on. I am app, yes. Okay, so.
Jess says, it definitely brightens your day when selected for the artist spotlight. Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. So I've got my, so I did a little cheat sheet for myself in the artboard, because I'm just like I said, like this is multi-layer situation. So I'm just like, okay, this is the best way for me to be able to deal with the multitude of effects that I'm about to get into. So
wow, this is already looks great.
We'll see where we go from here. So I don't want to terribly overwhelm my computer, but well, okay. I guess I will start by, well, I'll leave these separate for now. Let's just start eyedropping.
So you had a layer that's full of all these colors?
Yeah, so I've got my general color palette like down here, but I had to break it up into steps for myself because this is, it gets to be so many layers that it's easy for me to get confused the order to put them in. So I kind of put these as like a little 1, 2, 3, 4 guide for myself.
Yeah.
So I don't lose my spot, so to speak, I guess. Yeah. So, going to throw this.
So for anyone who recently joined, we are in Illustrator and Alanna is working on a lettering project that she started yesterday. And we did all the vector work earlier using the pen tool. And now she's applying colors that she had pre-selected, which saves so much time. And I think everyone should do this if you can, because then you can just quickly experiment and see what works and have like a limited palette that you have below there.
Yeah, definitely. It's like if I can simplify any of the steps for myself, I am eager to do so. So yeah, I'm basically going to start with making this into a blend. So just going to click, and I guess I didn't like that, so let's try it again.
Daniela just joined. Hi, Daniela.
Hi.
Congrats for being our artist spotlight.
Oh, yay. Yes, congrats. Your work is so beautiful. Oh yeah, I have to make sure I have everything selected in groups.
So how do you do the blend? You select everything?
Yeah, so it can malfunction or become a little unruly if you don't have all of the elements like grouped together. So that was my mistake. So you'll be able to see really quickly if it doesn't work. So you'll just have to go back and check your elements and make sure. But oh, it looks like we're having another. Oh, okay, so it looks like maybe the issue is maybe with the way that I treated this word, maybe, or maybe. Let's see. I think it should be okay. Let's see. It's adding the details is I guess all of the parts of the process are like a fun dance that we do with our artwork. So please.
We're on the dance floor.
Yeah, right? Follow me to the dance floor. Okay, let's see. If I
I know it's hard to figure this stuff out when you're live, when things are like not quite working.
Oh, interesting. It worked when I separated it from the bottom half.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, you don't like the bottom half of the artwork. Also, I think I'm seeing some other inconsistencies here. So I'm going to quickly release this blend. And I'm going to try again. So if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Indeed.
Lovely time. Okay, let's see if.
Well, this is why we're live.
Yeah, right.
So we can see the struggles and how you overcome them.
The struggle is real, everyone. Unedited and unscripted. Okay, well, I could still do it, but in 2 parts, I guess. So let's try this. Let's do, okay. They seem to like each other and they seem to like each other. So the basic idea is still the same. So, all right, so we've got a little blend going here. So I'm just going to, oh, hello, please don't do that.
Dorothy says, I love seeing the struggle and the victory. It's nice to know everyone goes through it.
Oh, yay. Yes, everyone goes through it. Okay, so I've got my little blend going.
That looks great.
Might be in 2 parts, but it's okay.
It's fine. You achieved your results, so that's all that
Absolutely.
counts.
We took a side door. That's okay. And this is basically me just creating the drop shadow for the lettering. So I've got that going. So I guess, well, before I do that, before I go on to the other step, I'm going to make sure, okay, so I have my blend here for my drop shadow, and then I'm just gonna, I take this very top layer of lettering and I'm just pasting it in place. So I just have this running free. And I am going to put this up with a little drop shadow effect, because I don't know, I think it just makes it look cool. It makes it look deeper and cooler. I'm going to quickly save this because you can never save too many times. I have been hurt by autosave before, so this is it's been a long road for me. Oh, did my work? Did it up? Okay.
Is it below?
Yeah, I might need to arrange this to the front. But alrighty, there we go.
Yay!
Top of the sandwich.
Beautiful.
So I can understand better what I mean by like this layer sandwich.
Yes, now I get it.
But okay, let me just check, make sure.
So we have about 5 minutes left. We have to start wrapping up and showing what we did, but I'll give you another couple of minutes.
Okay. I'm going to, this is going to be another throw behind game. So send it back. This is where it kind of gets a little tricky, because then you have to start like isolating layers and making sure that certain elements are locked in place, so that they don't get too jumbled up and disorganized. But I believe in the power of live and everybody in the chat. I'm just gonna quickly select that, confirm that those are selected, yes. Alrighty, so then we are going to drop that down.
Oh.
To make it white. We are going to then reselect that layer. So let's see if the blend tool will like me now, but we'll see if we have to do it in 2 parts again. But oh, okay, I think I just need to throw my white layer to the back, yeah. A lot of arranging and sending to back. Okay, so let me double click my blend tool. I usually do like around 100 steps, I guess. I'm going to turn the opacity down. I'm going to put a multiply effect, and then I am going to go back into my layers panel. Now I'm going to turn on my texture layer. That kind of gives it a nice little throw of depth and a little bit more. Can you see all that?
Yeah, that looks really good.
It's like so fun. I'm like obsessed with throwing texture in these days. So
we have to start wrapping up, but we can maybe throw on a couple of those things to show what they're
right. Like. Let's just
have those illustrations already.
I'll just throw these up. I'll get rid of this since I don't need it anymore, but yeah, I'll just throw in like the moon and stuff.
Wow, awesome.
Got my little shooting star and other
This
stars.
looks so good. What does everyone think? Those of you that were with us from the beginning.
Right, you've seen us from humble beginnings of weird, wonky thumbnail sketches and all these other things.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's throw some more stars in. Actually,
and then you'll post this on your Instagram. Hopefully also it'll be a print that we can get our hands on one day.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, I usually don't throw new items in my shop unless people explicitly ask for something that they may have seen that I did that they want. But yeah, let me know if anyone would be interested in me putting this in my shop. Because...
Caitlin says, I need a print.
Oh my gosh.
Who else will buy a print? Let's make her put it in her shop.
Yeah, right. Let's get us all dreaming big.
Yeah.
But,
So we just have a couple minutes left. So this started on Fresco. You can watch the replay and see how it started out and how Alanna started with her thumbnails and her pencil sketches and ended up here with this wonderful vector art that she ended up doing in Illustrator. Keshna, Bruce, Jeffrey, everyone who's been on the journey with us has been saying how awesome this came together and how much they liked seeing the process. And I'm glad we had so many people watching and being part of the journey.
yeah, right. It's been a crazy 2 days, but it's been so fun hanging out with you guys and creating and chatting.
Yeah. So let's make sure that we follow Alanna. Cody has put your social media in the chat. And I just wanted to thank you for what a wonderful 2 days this has been and showing your process, and look forward to seeing more from you in the future.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It's been so much fun.
Yes, we all had a great time, and stay tuned for the rest of the day. There's more live streams coming, and we'll see you next time. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.